All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're going to take a tour of one of the most incredible systems in the entire universe. And guess what? It's the electrical wiring that's running inside your own body right now, your spinal nerves.
I mean, have you ever really stopped to think about it? You decide, I'm going to pick up that cup of coffee, and just a split second later, your arm is moving, your fingers are closing around it, and you're lifting it up. What on earth happens in that tiny little gap between the thought and the action?
Well, the secret lies in this incredibly complex, just beautifully organized superhighway of nerves that connects your brain to, well, every single part of your body. So today, we're going to take a road trip down that highway. We'll stop at all the major exits and junctions to see exactly how it all works.
Okay, so our first stop is right at the very top, the cervical nerves. You can think of this area as mission control for pretty much everything from the neck up. But it's also the command center for your arms and, crucially, for your ability to breathe. The first three nerves, we call them C1, C2, and C3. They're all about controlling your head and your neck. They let you nod, shake your head no, and look all around. And their location, way up high, is so critical that an injury here can affect the most basic functions we have, including being able to breathe all on your own.
Now, this little phrase, it's one of the most famous memory aids in all of medicine, and for a very good reason. C3, 4, and 5 keep the diaphragm alive. See, these three nerve roots, they join together to form what's called the phrenic nerve. And that is the only nerve that controls your diaphragm, the muscle that pulls air into your lungs. They literally keep you alive, one breath at a time. It's amazing.
Okay, moving just a little bit down from those breathing nerves, we find the arms control center. It's really cool how each nerve root has its own main job. C5, that's for lifting your shoulder. C6 and C7 team up to let you extend your wrist and your elbow. And C8, that one gives you the power to make a fist. This little table gives you a quick snapshot before we actually test them out.
All right, let's make this real. You can test your own nerves with me right now. Ready? First up, C5. Lift your arm out to the side, right at the shoulder. Feel that? That's your deltoid muscle. Good. Now for C6. Pull your wrist back like you're telling someone to stop. Perfect. C7, now straighten your elbow using your triceps. And last but not least, C8. Make a really good, tight fist. That grip strength you feel, that's all powered by C8. See? Simple little tests that tell us so much.
All right, continuing our journey down this superhighway, we're now entering the thoracic region. This is that long stretch of your back that gives you all the structure and stability for your entire torso. So, these 12 nerves, T1 all the way down to T12, they literally wrap around your body in these neat little bands. They control the muscles between your ribs, which help you breathe. And they also control all of your ab muscles, which are absolutely essential for core stability, your posture, and even something as simple as coughing.
Now here's a really cool clinical trick. For doctors, a super important first step in figuring out an injury is using sensory landmarks. And two of the most important ones are right here. If you can feel things at the nipple line, that sensation corresponds to the T4 nerve root. And sensation at the belly button, that corresponds to T10. It's a really quick, really effective way to start mapping out where a problem might be.
Our tour now takes us to the lower back, the lumbar region. You know, if the cervical nerves up top were all about arm control, well, the lumbar nerves are the absolute powerhouse that gets your legs moving.
And the action kicks off right away with L1 and L2. These nerves power up your hip flexors. Those are the muscles that let you lift your thigh up towards your chest. Literally every single step you take begins with that exact movement. And here it is, another one of those fantastic mnemonics, this time for leg function. Ready? L3 to kick the knee, L4 to lift the foot, L5 toes to nose. So L3, that controls your quad muscles, letting you kick your knee straight. L4 lets you lift your foot up, a move called dorsiflexion. And L5, that's all about fine control. It lets you lift your big toe, or, bring your toes to your nose.
And here we are. We have reached the final destination on our spinal superhighway, the sacral nerves. These nerves, they're tucked away at the very base of the spine, and they handle some of the body's most essential and final functions. So let's start with S1. This simple phrase says it all. The S1 nerve root controls the muscles in your calf, letting you point your foot down and push off the ground. Or, to put it simply, S1 is what lets you stand on your tiptoes. Now, this last major mnemonic is incredibly important. The nerves from S2, S3, and S4 are in charge of the critical function of controlling your bowel and bladder. And as the rhyme so memorably puts it, they keep the bladder off the floor. And that leads us to this really crucial clinical idea called sacral sparing. After a spinal cord injury, one of the very first things a doctor checks for is any sensation at the very last nerve root, S5. And if there's any feeling at all there, that is a very, very hopeful sign. It suggests the spinal cord might just be bruised or swollen, not completely severed, which means a much better chance for recovery.
Wow, okay, we have traveled the entire highway from the very top all the way to the bottom. So now let's put it all together in a final recap and create a simple but really powerful nerve map that you can actually remember.
So here it is. This is the ultimate cheat sheet from our little tour today. From breathing with C345 to walking with L3, L4, L5, all the way to those critical functions with S234, these simple little rhymes are the absolute key to remembering how your body's wiring is organized. It's just an elegant, logical system, and now you have the map.
So when you really stop and think about it, every single move you make, every sensation you feel, is all because of this incredible map of nerves firing in a perfect sequence. Now that you've seen the blueprint, what part of it is the most amazing to you? Is it the sheer precision of it all? Or maybe its profound vulnerability? It's really something incredible to think about.